Hello, I'm Christina from The Turned Leg. I love to salvage, repurpose, and create and help others to do the same. Last year, I kind of stumbled into making a really cool sign. I love to make signs on old salvaged wood. And so I thought it'd be great to make a video on it. But instead of just making a normal sign, I found some really cool salvaged pieces of wood, and I'm going to show you how to make your sign. Of course, you could apply this technique to any board of wood that you have laying around. Let's get started.
The wood for this project came from the most unlikely source. My mom, who is the owner of Paint and Porcelain, I'll put the link in the description box below for all of her information, was on a pick. She was actually looking for porcelain painting supplies, and while she was there, she came across a ton of wood supplies that she knew would be perfect for me. So of course she did what every good mom does. She brought them all home. In the stash was a whole bunch of wood pickets. Spring has sprung in Michigan, and a whole bunch of plants are either just getting their blossoms or are in bloom right now, like the forsythia and the daffodils. I knew that I wanted to use one of these pickets to create one of my favorite signs from last year, which was the grow sign, which I thought would be perfect in my garden. The first step before you start is make sure that your surface is clean. I usually just wipe down whatever I am painting with a disinfectant wipe or use a little Dawn dish soap and water. For the first step of this project, I am using DIY paint Dark and Decrepit as a water-based stain. For more information as to how to use this as a stain on all of your pieces of furniture, you can click on the link to the video above. I love to use this product because there is no VOCs. It is all natural, water-based, and super easy cleanup. You can paint Dark and Decrepit on straight or even water it down a little bit to get a slightly lighter color. If you want a darker color, apply an extra coat or two. One coat worked great for me. Once your Dark and Decrepit is dry, now it's time to stencil. I'm going to tape down all of my stencils with little blue painter's tape. I'm using JRV Stencils, the uppercase letters, to create my grow sign. These stencils are my favorite and 5 times thicker than any other stencil, so they can be used over and over again. I will also be using my JRV stencil brushes for this project. These brushes really make the difference. Now to add the paint. When you're stenciling, you don't need much paint at all, and then I just use my brush to stipple up and down to apply. For this project, I'm using DIY paint. DIY paint is a clay-based, all-natural paint that comes in a wide variety of colors and is one of my favorites. When you're stenciling, you'll always get those little gaps in between the letters. And I don't know about you, but they drive me crazy. So I always go through and cover them up with an artist brush. Do you do the same? If so, comment down below. The next step is the fun part, to apply the flowers. I am using only one stencil. It is the Flower Garden stencil from JRV. Has so many flowers. You can use this on so many projects. Hardest part is picking the flowers. You also will need a lot of colors of paint. I'm using DIY paint in Firestarter, Water Lily, Queen Bee, Fancy Farm Girl, Marquee, Mermaid Tail, and Petticoat Pink. When I'm stenciling my flowers, I found that the swirl technique seemed to work best. I'm also not taping, just kind of going rogue, but if you're worried about bleed through, you want to tape it down. I'm using Marquee and Petticoat Pink on this flower, and you'll notice I dip my brush right into the Petticoat Pink and apply it over the Marquee. This makes for a beautiful color to your flower. Then you just keep applying flowers however you'd like all over your sign. It's really important you let the sign dry completely before the next step. Usually 24 hours is a good idea. Since I had some time, this was the perfect opportunity to clean my brushes and my stencils. It's really important to clean them as quickly as possible, especially with your stencils, because you don't want them to kind of goo up and make your stencils less crisp. A really good tip for washing your stencils is to use your stencil brush to clean both sides. That way you not only are washing your stencils, but it's extremely gentle and your brush gets clean too.
Are you enjoying this video? If so, I need to ask a favor. Please click that like button and subscribe to my channel so it can continue to grow, so I can continue to help others to salvage, repurpose, and create.
Once my grow sign had dried, it was time to seal. I decided I'm going to be sealing my sign with DIY Big Top. Now, DIY Big Top is not an outdoor sealer, although if you're using it on a covered porch or an area that's going to have some protection, it should hold up pretty good. If you're more worried about using an outdoor sealer, I highly recommend Spar Urethane as a great all-season outdoor sealer, and you would apply it the same way. I will put a link for Spar Urethane in the comments below. I'm applying my DIY Big Top with a foam brush, but any brush will work. Just make sure when you are applying your Big Top that you are doing so with a light touch. You do not want to reactivate the DIY paint colors and smear them underneath. Once dry, I will apply a second coat. If you notice your Big Top appears to be repelling, all you need is another quick swipe of your brush to smooth things out. To purchase any of the products that you saw me using, you can shop my online store at shoptheturnedleg.com, or if you're local, you can shop my booth at Plaza Antiques and Collectibles Mall in Lincoln Park, Michigan.
We're going to take a look at what the grow sign turned out like in just a moment, but be forewarned, while I was taking pictures, it is now snowing here in Michigan. So I'm glad I made the sign, because those little plants in Michigan are going to need all the help they can get this spring. Hopefully this project has inspired you to make your own sign. If you do, I would love for you to send me a picture of it so I can take a look. Thanks so much for watching and subscribing to my channel.